Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Cruising Out of Sight. For quite some time now, I've wanted to make a video about solo cruising. I see a lot on various Facebook groups that I'm on that people are nervous about not going with somebody else, that this is going to be their first time going on a solo cruise in the future, and they're kind of worried about how it's going to work out. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience solo cruising. I've lost track now. I'm on my 27th cruise since the pandemic. Probably about 20, I don't know, 20 of them maybe have been solo cruises. I haven't actually done the math on that one. Anyhow, I solo cruise a lot. I'm retired, but my wife still works. My kids are in school, so they can't take a vacation all the time to come with me. Whenever we can, I usually bring my kids or my wife along with if they're up for it. But if they can't, I get out and I solo cruise. I absolutely love it, and I wanted to share with you guys what I do to enjoy myself on those solo cruises. So let's get right into it. So first off, I want to say solo cruising isn't necessarily for the faint of heart. If you're socially awkward to the point where you get tons of anxiety about doing stuff by yourself, like going out to eat, going to the movies, maybe going to the park by yourself, maybe this isn't for you. If you're codependent like that to the point where you don't think, or I don't want to say don't think, but if you're sure you're not going to enjoy yourself, don't go solo cruising. Find a family member, a friend, whatever. Bring somebody along with you. You're probably not going to enjoy yourself if you're that anxious about it where you know you're not going to have a good time. I'm a little bit like that. If I go out to eat and I'm just sitting there by myself and all around me there's groups of people eating together, I feel a little bit weird. I get over it personally and I still enjoy myself, but I'm not going to say that there isn't just a tiny little bit of anxiety over that. I personally don't get any anxiety about going to a movie by myself. I don't need somebody sitting next to me to enjoy a movie. I have never quite understood that. But some people are that way. So just wanted to talk a little bit about that before we jump in. So let's talk a little bit about pre-cruise. What are some things that you can do pre-cruise to set yourself up for success? I personally join Facebook groups. If you search your Facebook groups by ship name and date, there's an example over here of that. You'll get a result for a Facebook group that's catered to your specific cruise. It's a great opportunity to meet people, to reach out and say, hey, I'm solo cruising. Are there any other solos that are available on this cruise that want to get together and see some shows, maybe share a dining room table, excursions, whatever you're comfortable with. Facebook groups are an excellent opportunity to meet people pre-cruise. That. Coincidentally, my favorite cruise ever, that Facebook group was for Jewel of the Seas. My favorite solo cruise ever was on Jewel of the Seas in December of 2020. It was my first solo cruise ever, and I ended up meeting some people that were really good at getting other people involved, and we ended up with a table of 8 at dinner, all solos, and we just had a really good time. We went to shows together, we gambled together, we even did some excursions together. So we just had a really fantastic time. That was my favorite cruise, I think, so far out of all the 27 cruises I've done. Besides the ones with my family. I mean, I really enjoy those as well, but solo cruises, that was definitely my favorite. So to me, the biggest benefit of solo cruising is relaxing and doing whatever the heck you want. I don't personally like to worry about, hey, is somebody else having a good time? Or if I'm gambling, is the other person losing? If I play more, are they just going to lose more? I don't really like that. So one of the favorite things about solo cruising is that I can just do whatever I want, and I don't have to worry about if anybody else is having a good time, or what are they doing, or where are they, or any of that. You just wander around the ship at leisure, do whatever you want, whatever. So that to me is my favorite part. The next one up is relaxing. Who doesn't like to relax? I personally, if I'm with somebody else, I usually want to go do something. It's always what's next. If you're by yourself, you can just hang out and relax. Just do whatever you want. Go back to your room and have a 3-hour nap if that's what you feel like doing. If you want to go up to the sun deck and just have have a nap again and a lounger up on the pool deck, you can do that. You want to sit in the Royal Promenade and enjoy people watching for a while, do that. Do whatever you want. It's great. All right, what's next? Get that out of here. Next up is sharing a dining table. I mentioned that a little bit, just talking about that jewel sailing that I did. But sharing a dining room table, how does this work? So usually I reach out on Facebook and I say, hey, is anybody interested in sharing a dining table? It doesn't even have to be other solos. If there's a couple that wants to share a table and maybe we can talk a little bit beforehand on the Facebook group, I'm more than happy to share a table with them. One of the important things to do is once you get on the ship is to go talk to the maitre d' and make sure that your dining time is correct, and also ask if there's a table available to share. It could be a 6-top, it could be an 8-top, depending on how many people you've gotten together. It's super nice to, if you have internet, to be able to talk to them on the internet, Facebook messages or direct messages to coordinate that. Maybe you can meet up at the maitre d' and make sure you're all on the same page as to where you're sitting, what size table, and the time especially, to get that all set up. Eating in the dining room is one of my favorite things, but I don't always do it. I think one of the neat things you could do on a solo cruise is you can change it up a little bit. I sailed on Harmony of the Seas this past March, and I decided, hey, I'm not going to eat in the dining room at all. Even though it's my favorite place to eat on the ship, I'm going to change it up a little bit. What if I ate only at the available places that are free, like the Doghouse, El Loco Fresh, places like that? Maybe eat a little lighter, go to Cafe Promenade and just get a sandwich instead of eating a full meal for like lunch. But also, do some more specialty dining. Go try out Sabor or, these are a little weirder, right? Because you're by yourself. But go to Azumi, whatever. If you're comfortable with it. If you're not comfortable with it, maybe stick to those, take and go sit type places that are quick, where you're not locked in for an hour and a half or so. So I don't know. That's one of the things I really, really enjoyed about that Harmony cruise, was just changing it up a bit. Maybe I didn't eat as healthy as I usually do. El Loco Fresh, there's healthy options for sure, but the Doghouse maybe is not as healthy. So maybe offset that with skipping lunch, or like I say, just eating a super light lunch. So here's just an option. Change it up a little bit. Next up, internet. When I'm cruising solo, I usually get the internet package. It does depend on where I'm going, though. I have the Verizon plan, and it covers Canada and Mexico. If I'm on a port-intensive itinerary, I may not get the internet package, but being solo, having tons of free time, I usually like to get the internet package. I can download podcasts, I can listen to the news, I can browse the Facebook group, which is usually pretty active during the cruise. People are sharing photos. People are asking if anybody wants to meet up for like a bar crawl or something. Sometimes I get free wine, which I don't usually drink, so I'll offer it up on the Facebook group. If anybody wants it, that's a good opportunity to meet some people. But I usually get the internet. It's a little pricey. I can usually find it for around $17 a day. I'm Diamond Plus, so I usually get 2 free days anyhow, which you can't take advantage with the full week or the full cruise internet package. But I think it's well worth it. You're gonna have plenty of time on your hands. It's an opportunity to talk to other solos and to arrange meetups and things like that. So I think the internet package is a great option if you're on a solo cruise. Kind of fill in those gaps. Sometimes I'd just like to hang out in my stateroom and see what's going on social media. So it's an option. So talking about that, meetups, meeting other solos on the cruise. There's Royal Caribbean usually does a meetup like in the schooner bar on a daily basis. It's not coordinated by the cruise line. Usually it's a, hey, just show up and you can talk to other people and figure out who's solo. Um, like I say, it's not run by the cruise line. So if you show up at the schooner bar and there's like 50 people there, it may be hard to figure out which ones of those are solos. But if you're on the Facebook group, that's a good opportunity to say, hey, you want to meet up, for the solo meetup in the schooner bar at 10 o'clock or whatever the heck it is. So it's a good opportunity to meet people and to just mingle a little bit. All right, enough of that. Get off your phone. So what are some great opportunities other than that to meet some other people who have similar interests? Obviously, you're on a cruise ship. The people that you're with on the cruise ship are going to have similar interests. So what are some other opportunities? I'm personally not a really social person. When I'm at home, I kind of like to stick to myself. We don't even have friends over a whole lot. I'm a homebody, right? But when I'm on a cruise ship, my whole attitude kind of changes a little bit. I'm out there with 1,000, 2,000, 6,000 other people that are all looking to have a good time. There's way more social lubricant. You've got bars, you've got gambling, you've got all kinds of opportunities to meet other people. So I kind of come out of my shell on a cruise, and I'm out there to meet other people and see what other people are doing. So a great opportunity is gambling. You're with a bunch of people that are interested in the same thing you are. When I'm sitting at the roulette table, I oftentimes bump into people that want to talk. That kind of makes the time go by gambling. It makes it a little more fun to root for them. They're rooting for you to win. So I oftentimes strike up a conversation with people at the roulette table. I would say that the Facebook groups probably only have maybe 10% engagement or so. If you're on a ship with 3,000 people, the Facebook group might have 300 or so. So there's a huge untapped number of people out there that don't know about the Facebook groups, don't use Facebook at all. So tons of people to go talk to that you wouldn't have met otherwise on the Facebook groups. So gambling is a great one. Another great one is trivia. Quite often people are open to somebody joining their little group. Maybe maybe it's a couple and they need some more people in their group. You don't really do well at trivia if you only got 2 people to figure out the answers. So it's fun if you get 3, 4, 5, 6 people on your trivia team to help out. And obviously your team is probably going to do a lot better if you've got a diverse range of interests and knowledge in your group. So that's a fantastic opportunity. Another great one is just at the bars. You're just sitting there enjoying a drink, maybe people watching. I love the schooner bar on the smaller ships because it's a pass-through area, and you can sit there and people watch and maybe strike up a conversation with somebody else that's at the bar. So that's a great one. I also enjoy the Diamond Lounge. The Diamond Lounge obviously is seasoned cruisers. There are people that know a lot about cruising. It's a great spot to strike up a conversation with somebody. Quite often people are open to you sitting at I wouldn't say it's a shared table, but little groups of chairs. Ask them, hey, you mind if I sit? And then you strike up a conversation with them. I've met some really, really interesting people in the Diamond Lounge. Like I say, if you don't have Diamond Lounge access, you can obviously do this at any bar, at the Star Lounge, and other lounges around the ship. But I find that the Diamond Lounge is a really neat place to meet people that know a lot about cruising, have a lot of experiences, and usually are open to chatting about that. So that's a great place. Hey, I'd just like to invite you, if you like what you've seen so far, if you like this type of content, please slap a like on this video. I really, really appreciate it. It helps me know that you guys like what you're seeing. It also helps my videos get shared across YouTube to a further audience. So I'd really appreciate that. Also like to hear from you in the comments. If you've solo cruised in the past and there's something that hasn't been on this list that you'd like to share, maybe something you did that heightened your cruise experience, would love to hear about that. If you're interested in going on a solo cruise and have some concerns maybe I haven't addressed in this video, I'd love to hear about that as well. So I'll put those down in the comments. Would love to see those. So some other things that I do to kind of change it up, maybe things that I don't do normally if I'm with somebody else, is go to the gym. It's healthy for you. It passes the time. It's something I like to do anyhow, but usually when I'm with somebody else, maybe don't carve out that time to go to the gym. So that's a fantastic option. Um, it's a good place to meet people too. Maybe do an exercise class. I've done that before. I was on a cruise with my youngest brother on Independence a few months ago, and he said, "Hey, why don't we go to the stretch class at I think it was 7 a.m." Didn't sound great. I usually like to sleep in a little bit past that. But we went and we had a fantastic time. I would love to do that again, to go to one of those stretch classes. It doesn't cost anything extra. It really relaxes you, gets you going in the morning. It was just a really, really good experience. I've seen on other ships too where they have an afternoon stretch. So I'd like to try that out. So get a little bit outside your comfort zone. Maybe go try a spin class or Zumba, or maybe they have line dancing classes. They've got all kinds of different things going around on the ship. So to get outside your comfort zone a little bit and maybe try something. If you don't like it, don't do it again. But maybe you'll find something that you enjoy and didn't realize before that you would enjoy it. So that's a good opportunity to kind of get out of there, get out of your comfort zone, and try something new. Another great way to get some exercise in and pass the time and do a little people watching also is to walk on the walking track. I'm not a huge fan of the walking tracks on the Oasis class ships, but on the smaller ships, the walking track is up on the pool deck, or the sun deck actually. So it's a great place to take a walk, get a little exercise in, some fresh air, maybe sip a little coffee as you're walking. That's what I usually do. It can get a little annoying because quite often there's people walking the wrong direction on the walking track or just standing in the way on the walking track. So that's not great, but it's a great opportunity to waste some time, get some exercise in, and do a little bit of people watching at the same time. You can always stop, peer over the railing, watch the waves go by, do whatever you want during that. It doesn't have to be constant walking around the track, but that's another great exercise opportunity as well. And then last up on the list, get out of there walking. Last up on the list is seminars, giveaways, other things going around on the ship that you wouldn't normally be interested in doing. Stuff maybe you don't have time for if you're traveling with somebody else and you've got activities that you're doing together. But maybe go to a seminar. Some of them sound pretty darn corny, but maybe they're worth checking out. I've actually never been to one of the seminars on the ships. So I'm going to try that next week when I'm on Jewel of the Seas. I'm going to be on my longest solo cruise ever. Actually, my longest solo cruise, even with or without somebody, on Jewel of the Seas coming up. I'm going to be on her for 20 days straight, going up to New England and Canada out of Newark, New Jersey. So that'll be interesting. My previous longest back to back that I did was 15 days long. This is a back-to-back 2 10-day cruises for 20 days total. So this will be very interesting. I'm going to be able to try out a couple of these new things. So seminars and giveaways. I've only ever been to one giveaway. Oh, no, let me edit that. 2 giveaways. And I actually won a prize at one of those giveaways. I won a spa certificate for, I don't remember how much it was, $150, $200, something like that. So that's a good success rate. 50% of the giveaways I've been to, I won something. So maybe go to a jewelry giveaway, spa giveaway. They do all kinds of them, during the length of the cruises. So maybe try one of those out if you've never tried one before. And last but not least, I just want to throw this out there. I've always thought that this would be an interesting thing to do. Maybe make up a new persona, or maybe fib a little bit about what you did for a living or do for a living, or where you live even. Maybe you've got a little bit of an accent that you don't normally have. Just maybe that would be something fun to do on a solo cruise, is to make up a whole new persona and try to carry that along the entire cruise. I wonder if you get busted. I wonder if somebody would say, "Oh, you're from wherever you made up. I know that place," and they start challenging you, to talk about things that you don't really know about that area. So just wanted to throw that out there. Maybe Mention it down in the comments if you tried that. Just make up a whole new persona and carry that on for a day or two, or maybe even the whole cruise. Can you pull it off? Be interesting to hear from you. So that's my list. Maybe there's some things that I missed. If you could comment those down below, that would be fantastic. But thanks for watching. Hopefully this kind of spurred you on if you're a little nervous about solo cruising and you want to get out there and try it. I highly recommend. I absolutely love it. It gives me the opportunity to do a lot of things that I wouldn't normally do at home or traveling with somebody else. And hopefully you found that helpful. If you did, would love if you subscribe to my channel with the notification bell on. It'll allow you to see when I release new content. I've got a lot of ideas for some new things to try out, new types of videos. Also, I'm going on quite a few new ships over the next couple months, so there'll be a lot of ship tour videos in 360. I really love that format, to be able to show you the ship all the way around. So subscribe with the notification bell on and you'll see when I release that new content. Thanks for watching.